Hey, what's up everyone? I wanted to go ahead and elaborate more on what I was talking about in a previous video. So, my father was telling us about how these drones have been spotted everywhere suddenly. And once again, consistent surveillance is taking place and people are complaining about it. So what's been going on just a county over from us is they've been seeing a lot of surveillance, and these drones are flying over. No one claims to know where they're from. Now, if the federal government wasn't in on it, they would be investigating into it. So, if the federal government didn't know where it came from, I don't even think they would be acting so nonchalant about it, to be honest with you. Because you just do something off the wall and you're considered being watched. He was talking about it over the phone, and he mentioned, be danged if I'm not going to shoot something like that down if it's right there on my property. You cannot search someone's property without a search warrant, but it becomes a slippery slope when you're dealing with drones because there's no laws against it. There's no laws against drones as of this moment. But when you start searching someone's property and watching them without consent, without a search warrant, without probable cause, you've got no warrant for suspicion. That right there is unconstitutional. Well, they're doing it to people. They are doing this to people without their consent. And one county over from us, they've been talking about people witnessing these drones right over their property, watching them all the time. And one of them was right there, just a couple of feet above the ground. And it was getting on the residents' nerves. And I don't blame them. And people have been seeing UFOs, people have been seeing drones, and they said, oh, we don't know where they're coming from and all this. Sounds like a plan, first of all, to me. Sounds like they have a plan. And if the simplest thing happens and they don't know about it, they make a huge ordeal out of it. A very big ordeal. And the moment so I know good and well that they bound to know where these things are coming from. Now, it could be plans for something bigger. Now, and I'm pretty sure you all know exactly what I'm talking about, those plans are. But he started talking about it, and he started saying that, and the moment he started talking about it, they started listening in on the call. And he said he hears that noise, that loud feedback into his ears, into his headset, whenever they start listening to his phone call. Whenever they start listening to the phone call, he gets that feedback. And every time, there's no freedom right now. I mean, there's still none. There's a lot more freedom than there was, but I think they'll probably cause something because they don't like this administration, so they're going to get things back to the way they wanted. I know they will. Here's the thing, they listen every single time. Every time there is a conversation that has to do with something like this, they start listening in on our devices. They start messing up the phone connection. And now that we've had a micro tower, it's actually gotten worse, but we have to have that micro cell tower through our internet in order to even talk. But they start listening in, and you hear the feedback and the interference and the noise. And that's what happens every time you have a simple conversation about something that's supposed to be private. There's no such thing as privacy anymore. But these drones have been flying over and no one knows what they are. Now, my uncle had a situation with a UFO encounter, and I've never shared this on my channel. He had an encounter and he said that it looked like it was breathing, a living organism, like a creation of its own that was a living organism. And he said that thing appeared out of nowhere, lit up the entire field next to my Nana's property. And he said that large UFO lit up the entire field, and he saw it. It looked like a giant brain and an organism. And when he went to reach down for the gun, his rifle, as he looked back up at it, it had backed up and took off into the sky and shot up into the sky, and in half a second it was poof, just a blink, it was gone. Now, thankfully, my aunt and my nana saw it as well, so they believed him because they saw it taking off into the sky. And that led them to believe that it was some sort of intelligent life. Now, to me, even though if it had read his mind and I don't think it had to do necessarily with him reaching for the gun, because anything that's able to read a mind and is of a higher conscious power is going to know whether or not you're going to reach for a gun, and it's aware of, it's not just out of curiosity. Anything that's supposed to be of a higher consciousness is not going to be curious and wondering whether or not you're reaching for a gun. Maybe it saw witnesses coming and said, well, you know what, there's witnesses, I'm leaving. I don't know. I really don't know. But I know he witnessed the situation. He said he feels like if he hadn't reached for the gun, it would have done no telling what to him. But I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that it had anything to do with him reaching for the gun, why that craft took off, or what. Whether he would have been abducted, taken, never seen again. I don't know. Who knows? Many people have had different scenarios and different situations take place. But that's what happened to him. And we've been witnessing a lot of the drones and the UFO things again, but more so drones. That was not a drone. That thing was huge, what he witnessed. He witnessed something that was like a living brain organism that was pulsating and breathing. That's what he witnessed. And he said he'll never forget it. And he felt like because my nana and my aunt were on their way and saw it as well, and the fact that he reached for the gun, it took off into space and just took off and went into another reality or whatever, I don't know. Another dimension, just boom, went off into space. Just shot up into space, and like a light, it was gone. Who knows what would have happened? I don't know. Would he have been abducted? Would he have been... I don't know. I don't know. Who's to say? Who knows? What caused that to happen? I don't know. I mean, what caused it to take off? Was it because he reached down for the rifle when he was hunting? Was it because they were on the way over there and would have seen it as well? I don't know. But I just know he witnessed it. He's witnessed a lot of strange things in his life as well. Not to the extent that I have, but I know he's connected. He just might not realize to the full extent, but he is. But anyway, give your thoughts on this. I decided to talk about it. Peace. Signing out. My links are below. Feel free to show support. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. I love you all so much. We live in a strange world where people think that, oh, well, this is the only... No, I mean... It's going to get stranger and stranger, folks. It really will. And the fact that some people are telling me that I stopped making videos for months when I didn't. I did not do that recently. That implies to me that we're shifting, and I know we are. I just wish I could convey that to people enough, to some people out there in this world. But it's difficult. We live in some strange existence. Lord Jesus bless us all. Love you all so much. Thank you. Bye.